Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. So I'm not going to talk too much about Survivor because it's kind of, I just have the same exact feelings as I did last week. I don't understand why Tommy and Lauren are so protected. I don't understand why the underdogs haven't banded together to get them out, but it's whatever. Elaine ended up going home. I was sad about it. I was happy that Dan ended up getting kicked off, but it's kind of frustrating and really just so tiring that it had to happen there had to be another incident for them to finally give him the boot. Like, that's just so frustrating, but so in brand to how society is a lot of the time in this kind of situation. You know, a girl will complain about someone being inappropriate, someone making her uncomfortable, and instead of taking action, there will be a slap on the wrist and it'll be free and open for another girl to have the same experience, and that is so frustrating. So that's apparently what happened in this situation. Survivor and production, they didn't really elaborate too much on exactly what happened. I did see that there was a few articles where it is said that Dan, well, he claims to have fallen when he was getting back in the boat after the immunity challenge, and he grabbed a female production crew member's leg or something like that. Another cast member saw it and it was a situation, but they didn't specifically say anything, and Jeff hasn't really gone into detail about everything that's happened. So that's really frustrating. I definitely think that if there was an incident, then it should be talked about in detail and it should be explained. Jeff was like, he gave a bunch of runaround answers in some interview, and he was like, oh, we're trying to protect the production member. Okay, protect the production member. You don't need to say her name. You don't need to give her a description. You don't need to tell us exactly what she looks like or what she was wearing on the day, but you can tell us what happened. Like what the fuck? But that's just another example of people like Dan being protected, and it's frustrating, but it's nothing new. It's nothing surprising. Like, I'm not shocked that it's going. And then they're going to do a pre-taped reunion finale episode, and that's annoying too, because obviously they're doing that to control what is said there, and it's just, ugh, it's just so frustrating and icky and annoying, especially, you know, being a female, having a daughter. It's just irritating to see something like this, because I would be so infuriated if I were Kelly, or if my daughter was Kelly, you know, like, because, or if my daughter was the production crew member, you know, or if I were, like, I'd be so frustrated that the full story isn't being put out there, and that people are, and that what people say at the reunion is going to be censored, basically, and that's frustrating and annoying. So I just don't have too much to say about the whole Survivor thing. I'm tired. The season started so good and I was loving it so much, and then the merge happened and it just all went to shit. And I kind of am continuing watching because it's at the end, like the finale's next week. Why wouldn't I? But, you know, if there was a lot more episodes left, I would have been done. Like, I would have given up, but whatever. Moving on to Survivor, because moving on to the challenge, because the challenge was awesome. I loved this whole finale. I loved last week's episode. I loved this week's episode. It gave me all kinds of life and it was beautiful. Seeing Pauly be such a biatch is so fantastic. And, you know, for the majority of the episodes, I found myself agreeing with Zach, which is crazy because I cannot stand Zach. He is such a jerk, like, towards women. But I was agreeing with everything that he said, and he was cracking me up in his confessionals. At one point, he was like, how am I on this boat with my 3 least favorite people, Pauly and Cara Maria, and then my least favorite person in the world, Ninja, and I was cracking up. But beyond that, like, I was super happy with the whole situation. How did it start? So it started with them continuing with the gurney and all of that shit. You know, Team US was really having a hard time with that damn gurney, and it was so fun to watch. I mean, aside from Leroy, I did feel so bad for Leroy. He was really pushing through. He was really giving it his all. He wasn't complaining. He was just trying to win, trying to get that money, and he got so close. And Leroy is literally the only one on Team US that I actually feel bad for. Everyone else, I kind of don't. Well, actually, I do kind of feel bad for Zach, because he made it a point throughout the entire season. He kept telling everyone, like, why are we getting rid of our strongest players? Like, what are we doing? Like, you guys are ridiculous. And so Leroy and Zach, I do feel bad for. I feel that they deserved a better team. But everyone else was full force in the stupid gameplay of the season and following Polly and Cara Maria's testicles all over the place, and that is so so I was super happy to see them struggling. It was great. I enjoyed seeing Team UK working together and dominating the hell out of that final. So it's so funny because they really sucked the majority of the season, but they brought their game to the finale. And some would say that it has a lot to do with Jordan and Tori being on their team. I agree. They definitely made matters better for the Team UK. But at the same time, CT is a really good competitor. And Dee and Rogan did bring their shit. Like, I don't like either of them. I actually hate Rogan more than anyone in this cast. There's something about him that I just cannot stand. But they both brought their game, and they both went there to win. So I commend them for that. CT's always been a good competitor, so he didn't really need Jordan or Tori. But Jordan and Tori did help them out a lot too. So I was very happy with how they were working that finale, for sure. The second half, they ended up going, and both teams had to stand on a set of stairs, and there was this pit where there were snakes everywhere and 2 beds. If you wanted to rest, get some sleep, then it was one person from each team at a time, and they had to go lay in this pit of snakes with a bed on it. Scary as shit, but I don't think I would have been that terrified. I don't really mind snakes, but then at the same time, I think to myself, those were some big ass snakes. Like, I don't know. And they were in the middle of the jungle. There was probably a big ass spider lurking somewhere, and that's where I would have the problem. So I don't think I would have been getting much rest anyways, but ugh. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't do well in the middle of jungles. Like, fuck that. So then they had to go to a puzzle the next day, and I was shocked at how awful Tori did in this section of the finale. Like, her and Jordan dropped the ball, and I was a little disappointed. I was like, Tori, seriously? You worked your ass this whole season to be defeated by an effing puzzle? Really? And that was surprising. I was shocked that Dee and Rogan finished before her and Jordan. Like, that surprised the hell out of me. But Jordan ended up finishing before her and ended up having to leave her there. He was encouraging her as he was running away, but you know, he needed to get on that damn boat. Each boat only had enough room for 4 people from each team. So Tori, it was just Tori, because they only had 5 people on their on Team UK. So Tori was the one that got cut. And then on Team US, Ashley, Leroy, which really made me sad. Like, he was crying in his confessional, and I felt so bad for him. To get that close and not make it would be the worst feeling ever, especially for someone like Leroy, who was so determined to make it and to win. He worked his ass off, and to just get that close, ugh, I would have been so pissed. And then Cam, so it was Leroy, Cam, Ashley. Was there someone else? I think that was it. I'm pretty sure that was it for Team US. So the people who made it to the boat were Polly, Cara Maria, Zach, and Ninja. Yeah, I know. And then from Team US, it was CT, Dee, Rogan, and Jordan. And Team UK ended up winning. excited for them. As you guys know, I've been Team UK all season. Basically, I'm a turncoat along with Fonda. Hey, girl. And so seeing them win was very exciting. I hated the fact that Rogan won, but the fact that CT and even Jordan, who actually deserves it this season, won, made up for it. And I feel like it was a great season finale, a great ending to the season. Anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys thought about the reunion, or I mean about the episodes, Survivor and the challenge. Don't forget to subscribe. I will be covering The Circle US on Netflix in January, so make sure you are subscribed, and I will see you guys in my next video.